Hey, what's up, guys? We got a big card this weekend. UFC 322, JDM versus Islam Makhachev. It's gonna be a good card. I'm just here to break down some of the fights and give my opinions on them. The first one we got is Vyacheslav Borshev versus Matheus Camilo. You know, right off the bat, I'll just say I think Borshev's got this one in the bag. He's looked good in the UFC. He's had a couple bad losses recently, but, Tom Nolan really isn't that bad of a loss, and Terrence McKinney one was kind of bad, but he's looked good. He's got solid striking. He gets taken down pretty easily, but he's good at getting back up. He doesn't just lay flat on his back and accept the position. I think he'll fight hard, have moments in the striking, probably a decision. I don't know, that Gabe Green loss just doesn't look that good. I wouldn't trust him to win that one. Then we got, next one we got Bysingers, Sursurkayev. Wonder if I got that right. Versus Eric McConico. I'm just gonna chew his work in. Bysinger. He looked good on the Contender Series. He freaking kicked that guy right in the body. Folded him up real quick. He didn't look good coming in on short notice against that one dude. I even forget his name, but he was forced to grapple with him. Well, wasn't really forced, he was kind of playing around with him a little too much. Came in on short notice. But he can pull this out against McConico. Yeah. Angela Hill, Fatima Klein. Man, no way I'm gonna pick a 40-year-old dude. No way. Fatima Klein, not much more to be said. Now, Pat Sabatini and Chepe Mariscal, that one's interesting. Honestly, I got Pat Sabatini, dude. I don't really rate Chepe that much, bro. I know he's undefeated, but Sabatini only has losses to Diego Lopez and Damon Jackson. So, that Diego one wasn't bad, and he's looked good, beating Joe Anderson Brito, who I rate pretty well. Brito's got good ass grappling. And I don't know, Chepe is kind of just a brawler. I think if he tries to shoot in or anything, it's going to end up bad for him. We got Kyle Dawkins and Gerald Mearshart. Kyle Dawkins against Michel Pereira was interesting. He definitely chinned him. Dawkins showed some pop on the feet, but it was kind of an early stoppage. But he could have had him out of there either way. And GM3, dude, his days are behind him, bro. Dawkins has looked better on the feet. Even caught that one dude outside the UFC right before the Michel Pereira fight. And his grappling isn't bad. He's got this one in the bag. That's the early prelims. Malcolm Wellmaker and Ethan Ewing. Ewing, he's gotten a couple KOs, but I think Malcolm Wellmaker's a little bit more technical and composed. And coming in on short notice for Ethan, this ain't gonna look good, I don't think. Picking Malcolm Wellmaker. Aaron Blanchfield and Cortez. I'm sure, like the rest of us, we want to see Cortez win, but I don't know. She could put up a good fight, but I don't have much to say, honestly, but I'm picking Aaron. Now, Kopylov and Rodriguez, that's another good fight. I think Rodriguez is going to pull it out for sure. You know, he's really big for the division, and I just don't think Kopylov has the footwork to really skirt around the cage and avoid getting up against the fence, where I think Gregory's going to unload some bombs there. He might not get the knockout, but I think he's going to hurt Kopylov, maybe take him down. But I don't know. It could be tricky. You know, Kopylov showed some grappling. But I just don't think, you know, Kopylov's just too stationary. I feel like Rodriguez is just so big, he's just going to be able to walk him down and kind of enforce his will. I feel like maybe if it was a 5-round fight, it might look different, but if Kopylov shows some good footwork, he could do something, but I don't know. I got Rodriguez to get it. Bo Nickel and Vieira. I'm taking Bo Nickel, like... I don't think Vieira's going to be able to take Bo down. So, if we just look at it on the feet, Vieira's not very defensively sound. I think Bo will see the shots coming. Bo's still young. You know, he's going to improve pretty quickly still, even coming off of a loss. He's only got 8 fights. I feel like Vieira is going to get much better, honestly. Being 36. Bo's 29. With little experience, he's just going to get better. And, you know, he was able to take down RDR pretty quickly, but pulled Gilly for some reason. I just think that's the inexperience for Bo there. I think Bo will show some improvements on the feet. Maybe take him down, but probably going to be a decision. Beneil and Benoit Saint Denis. I like this fight because, you know, Beneil's the underdog, but I'm honestly taking him. It's going to be really interesting for sure. I think it might be a tough first round for Beneil, but Benoit's, you know, he showed improvements, but he still kind of just likes to maraud people and rush them, and, you know, that works well when it's striker versus grappler where they're worried about the takedown, but I don't think Beneil's going to be worried about the takedown, really. If anything, if BSD shoots, I see Beneil stuffing it, maybe taking the back or something. And on the feet, Benoit's best weapon is that rear leg kick, and Beneil and BSD are both southpaws, so that kind of takes that rear leg kick to the body out of the question a bit more. It works well when you got that orthodox southpaw stance, that rear leg kick, but it ain't going to be there, really. Beneil, you know, these guys are both pretty shit defensively on the feet, but Beneil's got some good hands. Not a lot of pop, but he can score on the feet. I feel like Beneil's going to have a crafty vet type of fight. I see him, you know, getting some shots on the feet. Maybe getting hurt in the first or second round, but if he gets hurt, I think he might be able to get a takedown off or get in the clinch and survive. Benoit ain't really a one-punch type of knockout guy. He wants them. Benoit's got them good elbows too, but Beneil can just start shooting if it gets nasty or break off. I don't think he's gonna be stuck up against the fence really. I think Beneil's just gonna show more skill on the ground, and that rear leg kick isn't gonna be there for Denis. I don't think so. I think Beneil could land some good calf kicks too. He was chewing Moicano's calf up with the calf kicks. Landing some decent shots. He was able to control him and everything, and then I don't know, I think there's just a lot of people riding with Benoit because of the Roofy fight, but, you know, we just seen Roofy didn't have much for grappling, really. And even still, like, Rufy was able to reverse Benoit in the first round, or it was either the first or the second, but he was able to reverse him off a takedown and stay up on top. And the only reason Benoit got back to his feet is because Rufy just stood up while on top in Benoit's guard and just let him up because he didn't want to grapple there. But Beneil will stay there and beat the fuck out of Benoit. So, and then you're having a tough time with Kyle Prepolek. That doesn't look that good either, honestly. I feel like there's just a little extra hype for Benoit because of the Rufy fight. Benoit looked big in the face-off, but man, he must have been wearing some thick-ass shoes or some fuck shit. I don't know. Because he's definitely not going to be... I don't think he's going to be that much bigger in the cage. Then we got Pratis and Leon. I feel like it's going to be... I feel like Leon has the same problem as Kopylov. He just doesn't, have enough footwork to really avoid the danger of Pratis. Leon's good at being on the outside, and he's good offensively, but he isn't really that light on his feet, and he doesn't move around too much on the outside. And I feel like Pratis will have time to set up the shot, and Pratis, I think, can defend the takedowns if Leon goes for it. Maybe end up on top. I feel like Leon's just too stationary, too. Leon just likes to kind of stand there and have a back and forth where, he strikes a couple times, you strike a couple times. I think Pratis wins that. And, Leon's good, but... And it's not like the same threat of the grappling's there like when he fought Bilal or Sean Brady, but... Man, I feel like he's going to lose this one, too, on the feet. I don't think he has the same type of power, and if you're just going to have a back-and-forth fight with Pratis like that, you're probably going to get cracked. And we've seen Leon get his chin touched up a bit, so I'm picking Pratis. I got Sean Brady and Morales. I'm riding with Sean Brady, fuck. This is a really scary matchup, though. This feels like it's 50-50, man. Sean's gonna have to try to close the distance, and Morales has got some decent hands, but man, just seeing Neil Magny getting on all those single legs against Morales. He wasn't able to finish any, but he got deep in on a lot of single legs. If that was Brady in the same position as Magny, he would have had him down 5 times. I feel like Sean Brady's just going to show a different level in the grappling. Take him down, maybe he'll get hurt. I feel like Brady will just spend a lot of time trying to control. He might be able to find a submission. Might get some good ground and pound off. Brady's got some fast hands, too. Brady's used to being the shorter fighter. I'm picking Brady. Got Whaley and Shevchenko. I don't got much to say about this fight. But I'm picking Shevchenko. Just haven't seen a lot of girls have a lot of success moving up in weight like a lot of the men. I really don't have much to say. I'm picking Shevchenko. Let's move on to the main event. Islam and JDM. This is a really interesting matchup. But I'm picking Islam. That's a safe pick for me. I feel like these guys both have ways of finding success in this fight, but I feel like it really comes down to the game plan of both men and how Islam looks up a weight class. We don't know exactly. Well, nobody can predict how he'll look until we just see him there. So, but I feel like if Islam's gonna win, I feel like he's gotta have a good game plan, and he's gotta make JDM pay for slipping and rolling. He can't be trying to really. He definitely can't box with him, and we know Islam has good high kicks with the roundhouse kick, and he can really make JDM pay with that. If he's slipping, he can be throwing combos like the 1-2 high kick, making him slip right into a head kick. If he lands a couple good ones, he's gonna throw off JDM's game. And I feel like people just don't realize, they're talking about the wrestling defense of JDM and the scrambling ability, but Islam's also got the judo. When you're just chain wrestling, judo, and wrestling, I feel like that's going to be a whole different scenario than Bilal Muhammad, who's just shooting singles and double legs. I feel like it's easier to prepare for that. And once it hits the ground, Islam's going to have better control than somebody like Bilal Muhammad. And, people talk about the grappling defense of JDM, and he creates really good scrambles, but them scramble opportunities can also open up submissions for Islam, pretty similar to Renato Moicano and Islam, because Islam will just jump on you at any second and look for a submission, and Renato was just trying to get up and stand up really quick, and that's when Islam just jumped right on top of him. And like when Islam went for that Darce on Dustin, he's able to just swing that leg, and Dustin Poirier tried to face him and stand up, and then he just jumped right on top of that front headlock position and sunk into Darce. Like, Islam's good in those fast-paced moments. A high-level submission artist can really capitalize there. And I feel like if Islam relies on that high kick, he can really counter JDM's head movement, maybe even some knees. I see Islam being better in the clinch. He has good clinch striking, and he can also threaten the takedown. If I had to stay away from JDM to win, he has to stay off the ground. It's hard to say, really. He's just got to do what he does. But he's got to do it perfect for 25 minutes. And I feel like if Islam gets him down, it's not going to be like when Bilal got him down. I don't think we're going to see JDM get up so quick. And JDM was showing a lot of things like the uppercut and the knee, even before Bilal shot, to kind of scare him off. But I think Islam's going to have a lot of conviction and shoot for these takedowns either way, openings or not. He'll force the clinch. But yeah, that's it. That's UFC 322.